welcome to the Cryptonaut podcast. I am Mark Storrs, and with me as always is
Chris Conaselli
and
Rob Morphy.
Thank you all so very much for joining us. Before we get started with this week's episode, we just want to take a moment just to make an announcement here. We're going to actually be dedicating this episode to the memory of Michael Carroll. He was a member of our Facebook group, and he unfortunately passed away. So, I don't know. It's weird to have a podcast that so many people like, and it's even stranger when you hear that someone that liked your shit passed away.
Yeah, for sure.
And and he was active in our Facebook group there. I know I interacted with him a bunch of times and everything. And it's just it sucks, and we just want to put that out there that this episode's for him, and we're gonna fucking do it for Mike.
Absolutely.
Yep,
He's a good dude. I mean, you always wish you had more contact when you don't have that option, but he was one of the guys that supported being flaccid for fascism.
Exactly.
I always get behind that.
Yeah.
And he was funny and seemed awesome. And the stories that his friend sent us
were great. They were
absolutely
awesome.
Yeah, for
brilliant.
sure.
Yeah. So it seems like he was a brilliant guy. And honestly, on to the next phase of your Valhalla adventure, Mike.
Yeah.
I hope the next leg of your journey is at least as glorious as this one, because I just happen to be a personal believer that the adventure rocks on, and I really hope that everyone that loves you and misses you can take some comfort and find joy in the memories.
Yeah, definitely.
So rock on, bro, and I wish we could have gotten to know you a little better.
Yeah, it's sad, but you know what, Mike? This one's for you. This is Fresno Nightcrawlers Part 2. Oh, I'm sorry, and their friends.
Yeah, and their friends.
But before we get started,
Sundry buddies.
we have Patreon shout-outs, Robert.
As always.
Shit.
And you know what? We're damn lucky to have them.
Oh, yeah.
Damn lucky.
Absolutely.
We're going to start with arguably one of the most we were trying out this name in almost every way we could, but I'm going to throw a few out there, and if none of them stick, Chelsea's the first name. I think we nailed that.
Yep.
You let us know. And it is Chelsea Roudabush, perhaps Roudbush,
Perhaps.
but what I really hope it is Rude Bush.
Yeah.
Rode Bush?
Rode Bush?
I can't read.
Yeah, I think Roudabush was
Yeah.
like a complete massacre, though that might be accurate. You know what? If we accidentally nailed it, phenomenal. Let us know.
didn't?
But
Yeah.
when we didn't, and I'm sure we didn't, then also let us know, and you will get that double shout.
Just email me. We'll correct it.
Chelsea, thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to Saturated Sloth.
Hell
I'm just
yeah.
curious. What is it? Crisco? Is it?
Yeah, why the saturation?
Yeah, I know. Is it? It's like an oil to give it a
This
nice
could be like
sheen?
just general
Is it just
moisture from being
soaked
slothy.
in something?
Yeah, but moths tend to wick moisture pretty good, don't they?
I don't know.
And as you always hear when you talk about piranhas how fast they skeletalize a cow.
Yeah.
Like a minute.
Yeah.
We know that.
Okay.
Moths like to live in their fur because they're so gosh darn slow and adorable.
Sloths,
Okay.
not moths.
Moths live in sloths.
Moths
They make
Okay.
nests in the sloth.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Moths and sloths.
Moths and
I don't know
sloths.
where this went, but I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay. All right.
Crazy.
Well, there you learn something new every day. Thank you so much, Saturated Sloth.
I will say this. There's no record as to whether or not moths like to live in Catherine Peterson.
Okay. Excellent.
But thank you, Catherine.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Catherine. Yes.
Jeff Demers, moth-free in 83.
Hell yeah, Jeff. Thank you.
Joanne Bicknell,
Hell yeah, Joanne. What up?
Jay Rainstorm.
Yeah, Jay.
Mike Hussey.
Yeah, Mike. What's
Don't
going
let people
down?
judge you. Don't let people shame you.
Hey.
You're no hussy. Unless
No.
you want to be, then you wear it proud, son.
Yeah.
We support you.
Benjamin Lee.
Hell yeah, Benjamin.
Sarah Crater.
Yeah,
Oh,
Sarah.
that sounds like a punk rock name.
Does.
Oh, I
Sarah,
love it.
Yeah.
Sarah Crater. Hell yeah.
Milena Myrick.
Yeah. What up, Melina?
Mark Leon Vinning.
Hell yeah. What up, Mark? Fellow Mark.
Kaleo Leonhard. Leonhard. Oh, I thought there was an extra word there. Nope. Kaleo Leonhard.
Nice.
I think I got it.
Nice.
Nadia.
Yeah, Nadia. Thank you.
Brandon Kozad.
Yeah. What up,
Kozad.
Brandon Kozad?
Nice.
Oh, the Kozad
Oh,
Armada.
This. Oh God. Yes, Zerg. Douglas Kellythorne.
Yeah. What up, Douglas? Thank you.
Jacob Hart.
Hell yeah, Jacob. Thank you.
Michael Deppa.
What up, Michael?
Adrian Vandermoor.
Yeah. What up, Adrian?
Simply Trent.
Oh, so
Trent.
simple. Trent. And you know what? Good luck with this one. This next one here's a doozy.
Oh boy. This
person-
might be the longest one we've ever had.
They got their Patreon shout out money with this one. Thank you for your support.
Doubt. Full buck here.
Yeah.
De Uthra, the eldritch cryptid, humble servant of the great old ones, protector of Relia, and the bane of sailors. Oh, you know.
Fucking
What is
yeah.
it, the bane of sailors? Kraken, sirens.
I don't know.
Your
Jesus.
Cthulhian probably needs a little bit of work, but it's okay. You're doing good.
Oh, yeah, no.
You're better than I could do.
Yeah, no, my Lovecraft tongue is in the shop.
Yeah,
I don't have
exactly.
any skills at all.
Exactly.
But thank you one and all for
Yes.
signing up and you know, again, your contribution means the world.
Yeah, $1 is a shout out and one bonus audio. $5 is a shout out and no more than 4 bonus audios. And be sure to check that out tomorrow night. You guys, this is all well in the future, but we will be doing some movie nights. We're doing some tests, some beta runs. So if you're on the Patreon, be on the lookout for that. We might have a couple more coming up. We're testing it out, testing the waters. We're going to see what happens. It could get to tomorrow night. We could do the movie night and be like, we suck at this. We're not doing this.
Right. Yeah, we could blow. I don't know.
You could get on the ground level. Watch us crash and burn.
It's true.
Watch us fail.
We are good at watching movies.
We are.
And we have all watched movies together since a time immemorial.
We have.
So, I mean, I guess the talking part is where we could fuck it up.
We could completely ruin it. You never know.
We just there it is.
We could break Discord.
Watch the tragedy.
Watch it happen.
Listen to us not talk and watch a movie.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun, guys.
We respect the filmmaker's intentions. Yeah, don't expect some Mystery Science Theater shit. Expect some drunken buddies having a good old time watching a movie with you.
Exactly. All right, so this week, as I mentioned earlier, we are on to the Fresno Nightcrawlers and Friends, Part 2. In 2008, one of the most captivating and controversial cryptozoological clips ever captured exploded on the web like an atom bomb. Enthralling, frightening, and fascinating all who stumbled across the grainy, haunting images of 2 weirdly walking enigmatic entities who had trespassed on the property of a Fresno homeowner, leaving him in a state of panic and sending the paranormal world into a tizzy.
Oh, fucking
There it
tizzies.
is.
Yeah.
No one gets into a tizzy anymore.
No, well, I mean, we all know what happened here with Jose, and unfortunately, like if Part 1 said anything, like he was deeply affected by this shit.
Yeah, that shit didn't work
He
out
got
right.
wicked tizzied.
He got super tizzy, which is understandable, man. If I was Jose, I would be fucking freaked out.
Yeah, he
too.
quit life, pretty much.
Yeah.
At least for a while.
Yeah.
It's like
I get it.
nothing. I don't know. Nothing's going on.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I get it. You
Burned
know,
his VCR. Fucking head. Didn't do anything.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it doesn't get any better for him.
Awesome. All right, Robert, let's get back into it. Part 2, Fresno Nightcrawlers.
This is what the 80s kid in me likes to call a recap.
Oh.
In early November of 2007, a man known only as Jose captured surveillance footage showing a pair of truly bizarre beings meandering through his fenced-in front yard in Fresno, California. And that's a key. Like, these things are pretty skinny, and they could have easily gotten through, like, the 4 or 5-inch apertures in the fence.
Yeah.
But that shit was closed up, so it's worth mentioning at least.
Jumping fences.
You're right, but
Yeah.
at least the one with the tiny feet. I don't know how much hops that one had, but then who the fuck knows?
We don't know what
it
they're-
literally could have been a pogo stick.
We don't know what their ups are.
Yeah, their
it
spine could
seems
be a
like
spring.
they don't weigh a lot, and they could have just
float.
like when they
flutter.
jumped, they jump like moon jumping. Like,
Oh,
'cause
yeah,
they're so
you're
light.
right.
Because gravity doesn't affect them. It's like an ant, right?
You're right.
You can throw it off a building, and they're like, "Fuck off, I'm living," because they don't get affected by it.
No, you're right. You're 100% right.
All right, well,
Damn, mind blown.
we're onto something.
These alien sticks, as they were initially called, terrified the landowner who, according to some reports, and this is something I didn't know until this week, so it's a little bit of an update, initially contacted the police who, unsure as how to respond to supernatural incursions, redirected him to the media. The local Univision affiliate picked up the gauntlet, and within days, news hounds in the Central California region were exposed to eerie images of unidentified entities that might well be lurking in their own backyards.
So the cops' response is call the media? Like, we
yeah.
can't help.
That's weird.
That's bizarre.
Well, in all fairness, what's a cop going to do? I mean, what's he going to do?
You
if
know?
it was the rowdy raccoons and trespassing teens of last week, they
Right.
might have a plan, or animal control at least.
Yeah, but
would
I
have
mean,
a plan.
it's still like even if you think it's malark, you
Right.
have to, it could be an intruder
Yeah.
or something they misidentified. So at least send one guy to
Yeah, whatever.
not be like, you're on dope.
Send a rookie
call
to
the
just
news,
camp out and be
right?
like, "This is your job now." Look for weird walking shit. Anyway, all right.
I don't know what like the crime scene is in Fresno. I mean, I guess it's big enough to probably have a substantial enough one.
Yeah, I mean it's a big area.
But I'm sure they sent, if indeed it happened, at least patrolmen and women out to check out the scene.
You need a sniper.
Yeah,
You do not need a fucking sniper.
Need a
never
sniper.
really known that
But
to
what-
not happen.
Yeah, what are you going to do though?
All right. Well,
Yeah, at least you show up though, and you'd be
Right.
like, "What? Take a statement, right?" And
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, unless he called and was like, "Yeah, I think I saw some fucking white toilet papery." Like if he sounded, and then he's just like,
Right.
"Yeah, call the
Yeah.
fucking call the Inquirer." That's my cop voice. Yeah, that's
That's
right.
great. I know.
hey, you stay here, call the inquiry, sir.
But somebody, if he's as panicked as he seemed to be in
Yeah.
last,
You would think they
you
would
would think he'd be like,
respond
"What the
in
fuck? I
earnest.
saw some shit." And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
they would show up and be like, "Still think you're on dope, but."
But instead,
showed up.
They're like, yeah, like you say, call the fucking Inquirer, call
Yeah.
the media, do it up.
There you go.
All right. So, following the local coverage, this intriguing incident and the clips that attended it spread across the internet like wildfire, finally receiving mass pop cultural exposure on an October 2010 episode of the Sci-Fi Channel's Fact or Faked Paranormal Files, which again we discussed last episode, which tried and failed to expose the phantasmagorical footage as fraudulent.
Yeah.
In the years since, recreating the creepy critters became a sort of cottage industry for debunkers, most of whom, with impressive combinations of puppetry and CGI, have made more than passable efforts. But despite these endeavors, there are many who insist that the Fresno footage is 100% authentic. Still, for over 3 long years, those scant minutes of vertiginous video remain the only evidence of what many are convinced is genuine footage of anomalous animals of as yet unknown origin. So basically that's it. You just got that one shot and done.
There
Yeah.
it is.
But all of that would change on April 4th, 2011. You like that little twist?
I like it. I like it.
When a second green-tinted night vision video was posted showing the same or an extraordinarily similar pair of oddly gambling creatures making their way through the darkness of rural California. This time around, the video was supposedly captured by a quote-unquote older couple who, following a rash of robberies, had set up security cameras on their property, which bordered Yosemite National Park, just 62 miles north of Fresno.
So if people want to look at this video, we're going to tell them right now, pause the podcast and
Check out the Yosemite Nightcrawlers video.
Yes,
That's
but-
right. I forgot to give the homework assignments at the beginning.
Yeah.
Thank you,
no,
Mark.
don't worry. Assistant teacher Mark, I come in to
good.
help the kids.
Yeah, no, you
I'm
did
here.
good.
Yeah, I'm like
doing
the
it.
shitty professor that like pre-records the stuff, and you're
Yeah.
the guy that actually comes in and does all the
Yeah,
teaching,
there you
grades
go.
all the
There you
papers.
go. But listen, that video, the link for that video is in the description of this podcast. So just pause it for a second and go to the description, play the video, come back. We'll be here waiting for you.
There it is.
There it is.
It's the beauty of pause.
And welcome back.
Wow.
Hope you enjoyed the video.
Really?
Yes. Continue, Robert.
The presumably bewildered couple allegedly gave a copy of the astounding video capture to a friend who posted it on the YouTube channel Sierra Parahunter, all one word.
Nice. Solid YouTube handle, by the way.
Not bad. Not
Yeah,
bad.
Not bad.
With the caption, quote, strange alien stick-like creatures caught on security camera above Fresno in Yosemite National Park, end quote. The poster went on to write, quote, a retired couple was having trouble with break-ins in their Yosemite private property and aimed their security cameras at the driveway to video visitors. They caught these things on their security camera and called me over to see because they know I am interested in the paranormal. They gave me this digital copy, but I can't figure out what the crap they are.
Oh, what the crap?
What the crap? Language. All
Come
right?
on.
Sierra Parahunter?
I don't give a crap.
Language. They reminded me of the Fresno stick-like creatures, but they seem to transfer weight. That's an odd thing. We'll discuss that in a second.
Yeah.
And there are 2 here. Is one a baby? What are these? Nightcrawlers? Stickmen? Something new? What? End quote.
Oh, this is some big crap.
This is some big
This
crap.
is some big
This is
crap.
a load.
Yeah. Which this video, though, when we obviously reviewed this video, they do definitely move a little bit differently.
Yes.
They do seem to have more of not so much of a floofy. Like no one can see my arm movement that I'm doing, but not so.
Yeah, I don't like it, but-
It's kind of it's a thing that I do. It's
Yeah,
how
no, I
roll.
just don't like it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want to offend you. I'm sorry.
I'm not offended. I just hate what you just did.
I'm sorry that you hate my interpretation of the new Fresno Yosemite Nightcrawlers.
it's just I've never seen you do that thing.
Okay,
And
well,
now it's
let's
fucking
do
weird.
this.
That's fucking weird, right?
No,
Rob?
that's floopity as fuck. Dude.
All right. Well, listen.
It's a bunch of fucking crap.
They're
horror
moving more
stories.
kind of like this. Okay. Again, this is an audio medium. You can't see my arms, but they're moving kind of like this.
Yeah.
So you're saying they move more rigidly?
They do move a little bit more like they do, like they're more weight to them. But this is also a different recording.
I would
though,
say
too.
this: they could be different things. It could be. A whole
I don't know,
different-
man. It's kind of hard to miss these things. Like you see what's on the first tape, and then you look at this one, and you're like, "Yep."
No, there's definitely similarities.
That's it.
But I mean, a lot.
There-
It's ridiculous
For sure there is.
Yeah.
But the first one, well, I'm going to break it down,
All right.
like what
Yeah.
the differences are. So I'll
Totally.
just deal with that. Okay. The clip reveals a pair of creatures walking across the camera's frame down what at first appears to be a steep slope, but what, upon closer inspection, reveals itself to be an oddly oblique angle. Perhaps a creative decision to heighten the tension, or maybe the surveillance camera came off its moorings, permitting the device to slump slightly to one side.
Oh, interesting.
Either way, the effect is haunting. If not exactly identical, there can be little doubt that the creatures eerily ambling through the frame are at least of the same unearthly ilk as those filmed in Fresno. Assuming that what we are witnessing are animate objects and not clever hoaxes, the Yosemite footage is fascinating as, unlike the fuzzy front-facing bird's eye view provided by Jose's camera, this video gives us a much clearer, much closer ground-level view of the critters in question, making the slow, surreal gait of these truly enigmatic entities all the more unnerving. So that's the distinction. It is a profile.
Right.
It is
Yeah, for
notably
sure.
closer. It is much clearer.
Yeah.
Now, that has led a lot of people to think that it is a hoax-inspired.
Okay.
You'd be
Yeah.
surprised. A lot of the people out there are like 100% Jose.
Right.
And, you know.
But this one's a
and,
hoax.
And this one's some bullshit.
Yeah.
Not that the pedigree is much better, to
Right.
be honest,
Yeah.
but whatever. I don't know if I necessarily feel that way, but just taking it at face value for the sake of argument right now that they are both filming something unknown and ostensibly animate.
And also in the same location as well.
And in the same basic
The
region.
area. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. This just offers a clearer and slightly different perspective on what is presumably the same species.
Totally.
Disturbing as the combined clips surely were, the situation would take an alarming turn as what had previously only shown up on video began to make appearances in front of frightened eyewitnesses.
Uh-oh.
As for shit gets real. A post from Victor Camacho's The Unveiled Facebook page revealed yet another North American run-in with what observers have identified as quote-unquote Nightcrawlers that allegedly took place in Abbotsford, British Columbia. So the Canadians are in on this shit now.
Yeah, it's time.
That shit's getting socialized medicine so hard. The recipient who reported the encounter was identified on episode 41 of the Paranormal Mysteries podcast as a 26-year-old man known only as Chris.
Oh.
And in both accounts, he gives an impressively consistent story about what he and his unnamed buddy saw one night in Fraser Valley back in early October of 2010 when Chris was just 16. At about 1 a.m. on the night in question, Chris and his friend entered a 5-acre patch of forest located behind his buddy's house in a rural northwest section of Abbotsford. The woods were private property owned by Chris's friend's family and was surrounded by a deer fence, with the only entrance being an opening directly behind his friend's parents' house. It would be within this pristine, rock-strewn, densely wooded forest that Chris and his buddy, like Jose before them, would have a life-changing experience. But unlike the first witness who merely stared at pre-recorded footage from the safety of his home, the teens would have a terrifyingly live sighting of a towering, faceless fiend. This is how Chris described the incident on his blog. Quote, "This experience was the only paranormal experience I've ever had. I am 26 years old. This experience still scares me to this day. I will never forget walking out of the forest that night, and I will remember it for the rest of my life." End quote. Although Chris freely admitted that he and his pal had the intention of strolling through the woods and smoking a joint, they had only walked about 25 feet and had not yet lit the then illicit substance when something extraordinary caught their eyes down the path approximately 30 feet distant.
This is God telling you not to do drugs.
Oh my God,
this
there
is
it
a
is.
message from the Lord.
It could be.
Smoke that fucking joint. Rip that fucking joint as hard as you can, and then just go fucking chase a Nightcrawler. Ride one. Fucking just
Ride one.
Rip a fucking.
Oh, the Nightcrawler rodeo.
Yeah, dude, just get high as fuck with your buddy and ride a Nightcrawler.
There's something to be said for that.
We didn't make the announcement here, but
don't know
we've
about
legal
riding
in New
one,
York
but-
now, so. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
congrats-
it
I
is,
mean,
for
for
sure.
2 more years to be retail, but I just wanted to throw that out there for no reason. Happy
yet,
New York weed. Yeah.
Riding Nightcrawlers, still taboo.
You know,
And we call it a free state.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Shenanigans.
All right, well, fucking light that joint, boys, and see what happens.
30 feet down the path,
Nice.
they see something that fucks them up, which immediately agitated his friend's black lab retriever.
Dogs in the.
So, as interesting as this is, like, two jackasses, teenagers, the whimsy of a teen.
Getting high in the woods.
Getting high in the
Yeah,
woods. Not
getting
quite
ripped.
high yet, but getting high in the woods. I'm not saying I dismiss, like I don't think weed makes you hallucinate any more than I think,
No, I don't think so
drinking
either.
beer does, generally speaking.
Right.
Depending on the caliber and the amount, no doubt. But when a dog is reacting to something, you know it's not just, it's not like the way we were doing with the Kinderhook block. It's not like a fucking seagull with a fucking bed sheet fucking around in the
No,
woods.
I know.
Terrifying the shit out of us.
For
When
sure.
a dog is pissed, it's like, all right, at least there's something legitimately there.
The dog clearly
Yeah, I
senses
mean, it's in the
something.
woods, too. So it's like things are in the woods.
Things are in the
Yeah.
woods.
Yeah.
Quote me. Things are in the
Carnicelli,
woods.
Things are
Chris
in the woods.
Carnicelli.
I feel like that's pretty true.
I mean, that's the most true statement that's been said in this
Yeah.
podcast in a long time.
Absolutely.
There you
Shit's
go.
in the woods. Lots
Oh.
of shit in the woods.
You know what? I'm going to put that on a dust jacket. Whenever I write a book, regardless of what it's about,
Yep.
I'm going to have
There you
that.
go.
Things are in the woods.
God.
Chris Carnicelli.
So- Yeah.
People are like, the fuck? Doesn't matter.
Just live with it.
Don't you worry about it.
Live with it in your brain.
Chris, the Chris X from Canada, not our personal Chris.
Okay.
would
Maple Chris.
Yes.
Maple Chris.
Maple
There you
Chris
go.
would describe the creature in question, claiming, quote, "It was so white it looked like it was almost shining, but it wasn't because it wasn't giving off any light of any sort or illuminating the ground and trees around it. You could see the shadow being cast on it while it was swaying in the pitch black forest like it was a real animal.
Whoa.
It appeared to be opaque. It was solid white. It appeared to be three-dimensional." That's an odd distinction,
It's
but I
a
get it.
weird-
Well, when it's a weird shape, I get you could, it's
Right.
not, it's not a cardboard cutout. It's
Could be a target. It wasn't target. It wasn't a target practice.
right.
Yeah.
It appeared to be three-dimensional.
Okay,
Okay.
It looked soft and kind of shiny. It was swaying left to right, right to left, with its two really long arms. It looked bulky/strong at the top and shoulder areas and where its head would be, but there was no head that I could see. End quote.
Whoa.
So what I find interesting about this is he's seeing it as arms.
He's not seeing it as legs.
We've debated this.
Yeah, we talked
like
about
last
a
week.
head with arms
It had
instead of
little
legs.
kickstands.
Or like,
I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
Arms, when you're like literally bipedal, and that's
So
it.
it's just a head with these giant arms that just kind of move
He
around.
describes it a little more
Okay,
thoroughly.
all right.
It's pretty fucking dope.
That's actually really fucking gross.
Chris continued his description.
Okay.
It's pretty grubby. The two long legs/arms, he's opening up the possibility there,
Okay.
looked like an ape's forearms would look like when they are crawling on all fours, as if the two long legs were hunched in the front. So I guess I see like the shoulders folded forward.
yeah, right.
And,
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know, the gorilla stance.
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
It's crazy. The best way I can describe it is 7 to 8 foot, thin, separated curtains in the shape of an upside-down V or U touching the forest floor and swaying left to right, back and forth in a specific motion with no sound at all. Absolutely no wind, dead silent. So, first thing to know, 7 to 8 feet tall, that's a hella jump from the 2 to 4 foot.
Right. This thing is enormous.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Okay.
And the other thing, the silence is just eerie because, everyone always says, like, when the animals stop making, the forest noises, either A, something happened to fucking Snow White, or B, there's like a Sasquatch or a UFO or some ill shit.
Yeah, danger
that
predator.
scared all the animals. Exactly.
Predator.
But the lack of wind is interesting too, because then it really isn't just like a bed sheet. Because the way he's described it, it literally could be like a long piece of tapestry or a piece of like a fucking a wedding tent or something that's draped over a branch
and just moving,
dangling, and then just it looks like it's arching back and forth.
Yeah,
but it's just doing its thing. But if there's no wind,
then there
no sound, no wind,
and he sees it moving back and forth, almost like it's like not standing still. It's kind of like has a bit of a, Do
you want to hear specifically how he describes said motions?
Yes.
Yeah, Rob.
Thanks, Chris. That just
Let's
fucking
do
threw
it.
me off. He actually said that. I was like, oh, he wants to know. I got excited. This is a really interesting adjective.
Okay.
Its movements were, quote unquote, psychedelic. He put quotes within his quote.
Okay, weird.
And sort of hypnotizing. It was beautiful to look at and terrifying and unsettling at the same time. It was literally something you would see in a science fiction horror movie. Well, pick your fucking genre.
All right, well,
because
that's-
I hate when video stores, when there were video stores, would fucking put them in the same section.
Yeah,
They're not the same fucking genre.
No.
Respect the distinction of the genre.
Well,
All right,
well, I mean, he's saying science fiction horror, like
so you're
Event
right,
Horizon.
like Alien,
Oh,
Event
like Event
Horizon.
Horizon.
God damn it.
Yeah.
All right, you're right. You found a loophole.
All right.
I found the loophole.
Event Horizon, you got
But also, at this point, they might be high as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, I'm not saying it's a hallucination, but
No, but when
I've been high as fuck, and like I've thought I was in a different dimension.
Yeah,
and
it's
things
like-
are really weird.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like things don't change shape, but like your perception of.
Yeah, because there's a difference between having an outright pink elephant hallucination to go for like the
Ex-
classic
right,
trope,
right.
and being in the woods and already being high, even though, yes, we will acknowledge that Chris insists they were not high yet.
Right.
But if you're already high, woods are full of fucking shit. Constantly moving shit.
Yeah.
Trees, animals, fuck alls.
Yeah, especially if you could get wicked paranoid too.
That's,
You're just
that's
like,
what always gets me is if I get super paranoid, then I'm like, everything's out to get me.
everything's a predator.
Yeah, everything's a predator. Yeah, but I love it. I'm like, this is I feel alive. And I'm
You're
ready
the
to
only
go.
person
What
I
do you mean?
know
You booked from the
that
darkness.
savors.
Yeah, but I still love it.
You,
It's great.
You love
I
the
loved it.
paranoid part of
Because
high
it's
better
like
than
being in a
anything else.
It's like being in a haunted house, but you're in a haunted house in your mind.
Yeah,
It's
That's
great.
the worst place to be in
yeah,
a
it
haunted
wasn't-
house.
it's not
I think
fun.
I think it's awesome.
Hard to find the exits in your mind, dude.
Dude, I don't need to, man. I just live in it. I just live in the moment. I get freaked out. I just go in the backyard.
This
I'm like-
Halloween, Mark's Mind Palace.
Yeah, but
Wide
like
open.
you were in a place where you could just go.
Right.
Like for me, I was like in a public place. I'm like, I need to find a car to take a nap in, and like, and that's not good.
No.
It could have been anybody's fault. I didn't give a fuck. I'm like,
Yeah.
I might even be able to go to a stall in this public bathroom and just sleep for a fucking hour.
Right.
And like that went in my mind. I'm like, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. No, it happens to me in the middle of Wegmans. I'm like, oh no, I went too far. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah,
I gotta get out of
See?
here. Or start freaking out. But I thought I saw Justin Bieber buying potatoes in there.
You did.
yeah.
His
It wasn't-
fiance lives like fucking 20
I
minutes
couldn't,
away.
but I was so high, I had no clue if it was actually Justin Bieber buying potatoes or if it was someone that
he
looked
didn't
like Justin
understand
Bieber.
lettuce. You said it was
He didn't
Justin
understand
Bieber.
lettuce. But
So
I
it
don't-
could have been.
I could have, but I was also high as fuck.
Well, you might have seen.
And then I saw him. I'm like,
A
is that,
Nightcrawler
I'm like, is that
thought it was
Justin?
the
Is that
Biebs.
Justin Bieber? Oh my god, I gotta go.
He's not understanding lettuce. It's probably him.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand produce.
No, he
how
doesn't.
to weigh it.
Yeah, exactly.
And print the sticker.
You bring it to your cashier or the self checkout.
It gives you the weight.
Oh God, I gotta go. All right, continue.
All right, yeah,
Rob.
Phantom Biebers aside. Fucking
Some Biebers.
where we're at is the science fiction horror movie aspect, which of course, yes, like Event Horizon, it could be a crossover genre. But where we're also at acknowledging and then putting it aside because you have to that. If they were high, shit moves in a forest, who the fuck knows?
Right.
But if they were really dead up sober and they both saw it and the dog is fucking just out of its mind.
Yeah.
Dogs go out of their mind at the drop of a dime, but you know what I mean.
You're right.
Then it's at least the scene is tense. Disconcertingly, Chris added, as we continued watching it for a couple minutes, I felt I was in a slight daze, watching it sway, and I started to feel impending doom set in. The sinking feeling in my chest area, like when you are going to die or are in a life-threatening situation, and I had shivers going throughout my body. That's crazy.
That's creepy.
Like, I mean, I guess you have to survive dying to know that that's how you feel, but I get what he's saying.
Yeah.
That's when I told my friend specifically, I don't like this.
Oh, boy.
He agreed, and we left immediately. I wasn't so much scared at the sight of the being. I was scared of the feeling of death it made me feel. Understandable.
Okay.
I was frozen with fear, and I literally felt like I was going to die. Harrowing as this encounter was, as soon as the duo left the woods, Chris claimed that he felt as if a huge weight had been lifted off my shoulders. Despite this alleviation of dread, Chris and his buddy wasted little time in retreating to his friend's bedroom, where the troubled teenagers proceeded to get high and probably paranoid as fuck.
Yeah, if you experience something like that, and then all of a sudden you're like, I'm just gonna get fucking
Or
ripped.
more than they already are.
Yeah. Or it could calm you down
Possibly.
though. I mean, if I'm like
I
super
don't know.
stressed,
Calm you down.
it could calm you down.
I'm
yeah.
old timey. I'm one of those guys. You see the monster, you go in, you pour the fucking tumbler of
You
bourbon,
get the whiskey
throw it
for-
back.
yeah, 100%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the calming.
Ma, get my gun.
That's the depressant
yeah.
I need.
Then you rack it. And you just wait.
There it is.
I ain't leaving until daylight appears.
Wow.
Yeah.
You do a really good Canadian teen impression.
Worst Canadian teen ever.
So, if Nightcrawlers are indeed a genuine part of our collective reality, what are they? Where are they from, and why are they here? Seeing as there is nothing in Earth's land-based fossil record that even remotely resembles these walking sticks, most of those who believe in their reality are convinced that these things are of extraterrestrial origin. And you get it. It's the easy go, but it's also not doing the work. You're not really putting in the work.
Yeah, it's very much not doing the work.
But I can understand why. I mean, like maybe some shit in the ocean that, I mean, there's a lot of things that look like fucking billowing bed sheets that turn out to be like a fucking skunk farm of a squid with like 11 teeth around the edge. I mean, we all love deep sea fucking weirdness. Bioluminescent stuff particularly rules, but all of those things that look like, like the little vampire squid.
Yeah.
But they just basically look like weird billowing sheets.
So this thing's like
and then they suddenly take form.
Sure.
And then they become this like diaphanous
So
nightmare.
these things are just
Yeah.
like out of the ocean, like fucking.
Well,
like,
they wouldn't.
no.
They wouldn't billow out of the water.
No, and the pressure would kill them.
Yeah, they probably
no.
wouldn't be able to move really if they were water-based.
Yeah, if they got pulled
like
up,
that.
they instantly die. Well, they
Right.
drown in the air, and then the pressure would probably kill them even before they drown.
Okay.
So, no, I don't think these are ocean creatures.
All right.
Unless they're Abyssian aliens in that they are earthbound alien intelligences that, have been here longer than us and have evolved longer than us and do their shit. There's always a thing. We always have to have that on the table, much like the devil, though the devil looks a lot cooler.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily buy that either.
The Revenge of the Mollusk.
Right.
There you go.
Right. Exactly. So basically, when I say there is nothing in Earth's land-based fossil record that even resembles these fucking things.
Sure.
And that's why a lot of people think they're ETs. Theories as to why these wobbly walkers are visiting Mother Earth have run the gamut from the idiotic assertion that they might be forest frolicking sex tourists. Yeah, you got a pound of mushroom. I don't know what the fuck.
What?
It's just a theory that I read on the
They're
internet.
here to fuck in the woods?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
if they're in
Okay,
Iceland, I would
yeah.
understand.
I guess.
all right. Well, moving on. Next theory, I
Right,
guess.
yeah,
Woods,
no
woods
doubt.
fucking aside.
To the at least slightly more plausible notion that they're actually robots serving the same scientific purposes as human-created rovers have on Mars and the Moon.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
I mean, robots don't have to look like Earth robots. They can be
They can be
organic
whatever they want.
and wobbly and walky,
I
and who the
guess,
fuck
sure.
knows what they're
Yeah,
doing.
well. Yeah.
Maybe every square inch of their body is a sensor, and they're evaluating the atmosphere and the fucking soil and the gravity and the content of the UV radiation in the sun and all of that shit. They're maybe just a walking super sensor, and all it has to do is stroll on by.
Yeah, and there it is.
Doesn't need to dig or do any fancy shit. Though we do have helicopters on the moon. That's pretty dope.
On Mars, helicopters on Mars.
Yeah, thank you. That's so much cooler.
But the alleged moon would be doper too.
Yeah,
Mars might be alleged soon. We'll see where I'm going with that one.
Oh, God damn it. All right.
The moon might be more plausible at this point.
We're going to table this. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Fine.
Those with a more biological inclination suggest that they might be extremophile insects that have somehow stumbled their way into suburbia. I mean, they're big bugs. Who knows?
It could happen.
While those of a more philosophical disposition are equally confident that these things are likely indigenous nature spirits which have been here since a time immemorial. One of the more popular and frankly bizarre theories holds that there are Native American legends whose provenance is anyone's guess that claim the Nightcrawlers are alien intelligences originally hailing from the volcanic hellscape that is Venus, who were sent here to protect Earth's fragile ecosphere, particularly the forests, from the teeming parasites known as human beings. That's a legitimate theory.
That's like some L. Ron Hubbard shit or something?
That's a huge jump.
Venus?
I could not track down the actual legends or the tribes they were associated with or anything.
Okay.
What I did find is that this fucking statement has repeated itself multiple times. So there's a lot of cut and pasting going on. Cloning of facts, if you will.
Cloning of facts.
I mean,
Robert, your work has been cloned in this wiki site numerous times. All right, well, maybe they're pulling some like Scientology, L. Ron Hubbard shit coming from Venus and the volcanoes and crashing in the Thetans and shit. Who knows?
I mean, I do find it fascinating. I wish
that sounds cool.
I wish I could have tracked down just the one legend where it's like, they're from Venus.
Yeah.
Specifically Venus, which is so
Bizarre.
weird.
Yeah, I'd like to know a little bit more for that story of like how you came to that.
Yeah.
If anybody out there like helped co-author this, let us know.
Right on.
Yeah.
As to who specifically sent them and when, not to mention what their actual job description is, one theory is as good as another. Though I have to admit, if the one fucking thing these extraterrestrial environmentalists have on their plate is protecting the forests, they're doing a pretty super shitty job.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they're not really holding it up.
They're not. If that's the one thing you got, Venus might have wasted its time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fucking the pooch.
Totally.
In her November 28th, 2018 article, Fresno Nightcrawlers are terrorizing the dark, and they're spreading far from California. Great headline.
Excellent.
Laura Allen expanded on the idea that these creatures may have interplanetary origins, but puts a different, more shamanic spin on it, stating, according to tribe members that live near Fresno, the Nightcrawlers are beings that have pretty much always lived on Earth, even before human beings got here. According to these myths, the Nightcrawlers have long legs that allow them to move through difficult or boggy landscapes because they are swamp world beings.
Oh, fucking swamp world. Cool.
Once again,
don't worry about
where does
it.
that? I'm worrying about it, Mark.
Live in swamp. Dude, come to Swamp World with me on vacation and live in it. It's fucking dope.
Where's Swamp World? Just
Don't
a
worry.
swamp?
It's gonna be cool. We're gonna be there.
Swamp
me and
World,
you.
a swamp.
Rob will be there too.
Is it a Disney attraction? Is it multiple versions of swamps?
Yeah.
Is it swamp in a bog?
Yeah. There's a swamp witch,
Is it
a bog
a
hag.
bwomp?
Yeah.
I am
Swag.
totally split down the middle because there is that fucking part of me that's with Chris like, oh, bullshit. And then there's that part of me.
Yeah, dude.
That
Come
pristine, innocent child that just wants it to be dumber and more incredible. It's
Come
like,
to Swamp World
they
with
came
me.
from Swamp World.
Fuck yeah, dude.
They hail from Swamp World.
They just don't look dirty. They look pristine and not bog-worthy.
I don't know if that's ever been a designation.
It is now.
Yeah.
Are not
You are
bog-worthy.
unbog-worthy.
Oh, God, that's the coldest.
Jesus.
The
All right.
unbogging. Yeah.
God, that's terrible.
All right, well.
Legend has it that the beings are part of our world now in order to rebuild a connection between human beings and our natural surroundings as sort of a peace bringer. While they don't seem to have made many noticeable efforts in doing this so far, the fact that stories about them have existed for generations indicates that they might be nothing new to Fresno, end quote.
Interesting.
interesting and unsubstantiated, and I would just love to hear. Just name your source. I don't know.
Just give it to me, man. I need it this week.
All right, Swamp World.
Thank you.
Got it. Swamp
Wow.
World's there.
Okay.
At least
It's okay.
someone's-
They're from some.
At least someone's being a friend. Thank you.
Swamp
Wow.
World right to Fresno. This is how it goes.
Wow.
While the idea that inverted Y-shaped fallen tree sculptures seeming to depict humanoid faces atop a pair of spindly legs are of aboriginal origin has been thoroughly debunked, with rumors claiming that they are actually an art installation not far from a DMV somewhere either in New Jersey, California,
Oh my
or
God.
Florida. I didn't even try to go deep on
Welcome to
that.
the fucking DMV.
These fucking stick
It's fucking
sculptures
art.
over here. What is this? You call this art?
Banksy. That's not even close, but
Banksy. It's fucking
That fucking shit. I went down that rabbit hole of fucking tree sculptures. It is a worthless trip.
Okay, great.
Eyewitness Chris should, and you should fucking thank me for not taking you on it, should be given credit for taking the question right to the source and asking First Nations peoples if they knew what it was he had seen. The answer, perhaps not surprisingly, was yes. Easy. That's all you had to do.
All right.
Just
Yeah.
go to the
Oh,
source.
Totally.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you got it.
Leave it to our Canadian brothers to take care of this business. According to his native respondents, the shape-shifting entity he encountered went by many different names, but the most common was the powerful Sisudal, which, according to the omnipresent Wikipedia, is, and I quote, a legendary creature found in many of the cultures of the indigenous peoples of the Pacific Northwest coast. It is typically depicted as a double-headed serpent with fish qualities, sometimes with an additional face of a supernatural being. The Sisudal is closely associated with shamans because both are seen as mediators between the natural and supernatural worlds, end quote.
Cool.
So what's interesting about this, the actual sculptures that I saw online are pretty intriguing. It looks like a kind of U-shaped thing with a face in the middle, and it's got like serpent heads where the feet would be. but-
Right.
oh, okay. Because I don't picture this. Doesn't in my mind it looks nothing like a
Right, exactly. So,
Fucking-
so the thing is, and I didn't do nearly the deep dive Chris went on. He has this personal blog about his encounter, and it was clearly life-changing, and it is big. And he went super, super deep into the Native American lore, and we're going to have the link. We'll put that up
totally.
to his blog
Yeah.
because it's fascinating. And so through him and other sources, I was looking into it. A lot of the things. You know, these are just like whimsical interpretation of the feet. They're not really snake heads. They're just
yeah.
walking feet, you know?
Yeah, feet made for walking.
Exactly.
There you go.
Old-fashioned, old-timey feet.
OG feet.
And that these things are kind of like what Laura, the author of the Fresno Nightcrawler article we were just talking about, said like they're supposed to be these sort of interfaces between the human race
Right.
and I almost said the nature spirits, but they don't say nature spirits, just nature itself.
Okay.
Okay.
Like a weird, swamp world being.
But they're not doing this, actually, regardless of whether or not they're from Southport.
Right.
Like, I don't, unless they've like made like, overtures to, government officials or the EPA, and they're like, hey,
Right.
I want to introduce you to the tree. It's Bob. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
Now listen, you don't
Yeah,
want to
right.
go fucking around cutting them down.
Yeah.
These frogs need to stay here. Be cool.
All right.
We're not going to terrify the populace.
Right.
You get your shit together. If that's happening, okay, fine. Though I don't know how you keep a fucking lid on it. But if they're really supposed to help us commune, I don't know how the fuck they're doing it.
You
Yeah.
know-
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or maybe it hasn't kicked in yet. Maybe it's the setup.
It's just happening
Like
now.
that first wave,
Yeah.
people are getting planted, or creatures are getting
They're
planted.
playing the long game.
Long game.
There you go.
Exactly.
10D chest.
The Sisudal long game.
Yeah.
Sisudal Studio. Whoa,
That's what I thought of,
Yeah,
too.
you had to. Okay. So, interestingly, despite their evident calling to unite humankind with the environment, the native elders he spoke to warned Chris to be wary of these beings, admonishing him not to eat before going outside after dark. That one throws me for a loop.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's like swimming.
Yeah.
Gremlins. What's
I know.
happening?
Exactly. Is this a Mogwai situation?
If you ain't swim, you die. If you feed a gremlin, you die. Or a mogwai.
If you eat and then you go outside, you die. Especially at night, you're going to totally die. All right, well, there it is.
It gets fucking worse here.
Okay.
Because they also suggest that before also going outside and not eating after dark, to avoid making eye contact with these beasts should he ever encounter one again, lest, like Lot's wife before him, he be turned into salt by its insidious gaze. So apparently this thing has the magical power to render human flesh into sodium.
Yeah, you get salted.
Yeah, weird. Maybe that. Okay, well, that's interesting.
This is getting fucking weird.
Well,
Like I say, he does a really deep dive, and it go for someone that really is interested in being a super scholar in this.
Right.
They
He's
could
got
do
it.
a lot worse. Yeah, than talking to this guy.
Nice.
Because
Okay.
he's. I'm not saying it's all. I mean, I can't vet it all. I couldn't possibly. I mean, I read it, and that's the best I could do.
Okay.
But it's pretty incredible, and if that's the path you want to go on with these things, it's interesting and worth taking. But we're gonna deal with this because, as provocative as the Sisudal hypothesis may be, it must be admitted that the bulk of those who have seen the Nightcrawler footage are convinced that most, if not all, of the video clips are hoaxes, pure and simple. These buzzkills claim that the walking pants phenomenon is the product of bored minds and idle hands, and insist that these things are nothing more than puppets, kids tucked into pajama pants, tiny gymnasts on stilts, and good old-fashioned homemade CGI, or any combination
I
thereof.
like the idea of tiny gymnasts on stilts.
These are all
Like,
real
it's just
theories.
The smallest of gymnasts.
Just a
these little
tiny
guys.
gymnast.
They're
I mean,
adorable.
yeah, I guess. The women gymnasts tend to be small, but
True.
Are they just bored at night and they're like Brenda? I got a fucking idea.
I mean, I feel like
they fucking do it.
I feel like if you wanted the
Brenda.
smallest possible, you'd get like a jockey. Because at least the
Yeah, but
gym.
they might not be pliable enough to pull that shit off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
but
got
don't-
strong
they don't-
legs. They're hanging on to
Yeah,
horses.
but you can still.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, a jockey on stilts.
the way they
Yeah.
walk isn't anything. Probably a jockey couldn't do that. A gymnast would be able to. I mean, they're not moving. They're not like doing somersaults. So they're just kind of like
They would be
moseying.
dude, if they were just doing fucking full flips and
Full
shit.
tumbles,
Yeah.
That would be different. Yeah,
That'd
if they
be
were,
fucking
if
killer.
they walked like
All right, so-
leg over leg forward,
Oh my
I'd
God,
be
that'd
like,
be weird.
All right,
oh, we're dead meat.
So we've got gymnasts, Brenda and Kelly, her friend Kelly,
Brenda Kelly,
obviously,
of course,
90210 right there, or jockeys. They're just bored and they're like, we got some Ted. We're fucking got an idea, brother. Here we go.
Or kids neck deep in their dad's pajama pants. Honest to God theory.
Yeah.
Tie the pajama pants around the kid's head. I guess throw a pillowcase on the head.
Hey, I got kids. Let's try it.
I don't see how that's possible
Yeah,
from
no,
the footage.
I agree.
To get that shape.
Yeah, the footage
right?
doesn't look like that at
The
all.
most interesting things I've seen for faking it all involve the CGI, which is somebody wearing like these bright white pants. Oh God, I wish I could credit the person that did it. Maybe Quizno D or something. I don't even know, but
Quizno
somebody.
D.
Yeah, I made that up.
Like subs?
It's
The
something
subs?
D. It's a guy who paints his
Oh,
face
wait.
like a robot. Or
Toasted
something.
subs.
Yeah. Anyway, he held a watermelon in front of his body as he was walking, and then CGI'd out his fucking head, and it kind of looked
Really?
like a
I
fucking.
could see that. You kind of
No
green
shit,
screen your
yeah.
upper half and just have your legs and you hold something.
And the
that's,
melon was the
Yeah.
dome.
Was the-
No
Yeah.
shit. Oh, that's cool.
So there's
All right.
there's interesting things
Totally.
here.
Hey,
All right.
Right.
Well,
But simply ignoring the naysayers who claimed they didn't exist, these frolicking fiends insisted on making their presence known. In a clip posted to the Dark Zone Network YouTube channel on March 18th, 2018, actress, paranormal investigator, and television personality Susan Slaughter, I think she was on Ghost Hunters International back in the day,
I think she was too.
claimed to have had a real-life run-in with a Nightcrawler while night hiking in Yosemite National Park in 2015.
And again, good folks, please pause the episode right here, go into the description of this podcast, click on the link, come back, and
Okay, so she said, something caught my eye moving in the moonlight in the middle of the river. And I started noticing what looked like this figure that was, armless, had 2 legs. It was a little bow-legged. It kind of looked like what a wishbone looks like, which is what Chris said earlier.
Yeah.
Like, except it was more elongated. It was a more elongated torso that led to a humanoid-shaped head, which to me reminds me of the very first Fresno
Yeah.
crawler, because that had
Yep.
like a long pole-like
Totally.
torso, for lack of anything else. Intriguingly, especially considering her personal experience in Yosemite, Susan expressed her belief that the Eerie Yosemite clip was probably a hoax inspired by Jose's original authentic footage. As to what the things on the tape might have been, Susan speculated, this looks like, freak show acrobats wrapped in bed sheets, end quote.
That's a great way of explaining it, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Freak
totally.
show acrobats?
Yeah.
Why have to be freak show acrobats?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't
They
know.
got that weird, like they're just doing that weird contortionist, like their legs.
I think we're
over
reading
their
too much into it. I
head.
think she meant to say like carnival.
Yeah,
I don't-
Or like the rubber girls on like.
I just feel like they're not moving that much in a weird way to where
No,
you need acrobats.
They honestly seem stiff, like puppets.
Right.
Like to me, they're moving like or robots, I guess, that are just clad in loose fitting skin, much to Mark's chagrin, but or something because they move in this
Yeah, no,
sort
I
of
know what you mean.
awkward sort of.
But it's not like in a
Non-human
weird
way.
way you'd have to like dislocate a joint
Oh,
or
no.
do something like
But it's not something that I think would be super easy for a person.
No.
sure, but I mean I just don't know if an acrobat would really
Be necessary.
yeah, I guess like you could I mean
No, like the internet has proven pretty conclusively that a normal person can pull it off as long as there's CGI to take out parts of them. Mm-hmm. Because when you look at this footage, it is either all CGI, partial CGI, really fascinating puppets,
Yeah.
or something bona fide biological weird.
Yeah,
And that's really the only options you have.
yeah.
Okay. Then, on August 5th, 2017, a video entitled Fresno Nightcrawlers Found in Poland. Please feel free to enjoy this, or don't, because fuck it.
prepare to get your mind unblown.
Was released on YouTube. This video might actually show a living creature, but this shaky shit show of grit-tastic handheld footage did nothing to lend credibility to the whole affair. Watch it to be for due diligence. Watch it so that you can say you saw it all, but god damn it.
The link will be in the description of
Yeah,
this
yeah.
podcast.
That was not helpful.
You will gain no new knowledge.
Just watch it and come back quickly. There, welcome back.
Quick.
Welcome back. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Robert, continue.
Oh god. Did I go back in time, forward in time? Did I fuck it up?
No, you're good.
In the end, the most frustrating part about researching this phenomenon is the fact that there are so few facts to back up the hype. This is particularly vexing considering the fact that these sightings have, for the most part, occurred in North America during the 21st century, involve eyewitnesses as well as video evidence, caught the attention of major news outlets within days of the events, and have been seen vicariously by millions of television and YouTube viewers worldwide. It seems incomprehensible that the follow-up work regarding this phenomenon, with the exception of Victor Camacho's single visit to Jose's home on February 8th, 2008, has been so, well, not so much sloppy as, well, non-existent. For an incident that has transfixed so many for so long, it seems unthinkable that field work by credible or at least honestly enthusiastic investigators never manifested or at least was never made public. Improbably, the original case is now 13 years old, and it seems as if the more popular these entities become, the less interested cryptozoologists, ufologists, and paranormal investigators seem to be. Possibly it's the fact that these ambulatory abominations are just so absurd. It's almost as if this Abbott and Costello-esque pair of narrow and wide-stanced critters were not of the real world, but conjured up from the mind of Chuck Jones or Tex Avery to torment Bugs Bunny. Perhaps they were simply too surreal to be taken seriously. In fact, just as the Nightcrawlers were gaining pop cultural credibility, manifesting as everything from stickers to soap to plushies fucking lore, their existence as an investigatable paranormal phenomenon was coming into question as sightings as well as surveillance footage of the creatures had been in sharp decline. And the blows for future investigators weren't done coming yet. In 2018, Victor Camacho broke the tragic news that Jose had passed away, stealing not only a precious life away from his loved ones, but much less significantly, invaluable information from anyone who hoped to glean as yet unrevealed data regarding the series of encounters he and his dogs had with the unknown entities even before the video was taken. So he's gone. The tape is gone.
No,
Yeah, that's the end of the trail, man.
It's a dream on the internet now,
Yeah.
basically. It's a hunk of shitbag footage, which we went into
You know?
deeply last week.
Yeah.
And that is all that we will ever have
Man.
at all.
R.I.P. Jose. Shit.
Yeah, no, it's tough. Obviously, the loss of his life.
No, right, for
the
sure.
least of it is the fact that it fucks
Right, yeah.
crypto investigators, but
Right.
still, it's not awesome. A decade after the fact, Victor remained as convinced as ever as to the veracity of Jose's tape, telling reporter Carmen George that Jose didn't even want to go out of his house. He stayed home for a couple of weeks. It wasn't possible that someone tried to make this video just to fool you or the TV station. Which makes me wonder if Carmen George might have been the initial reporter who just fucking videotaped it off the screen.
Oh, yeah,
Off
right.
of the fucking viewfinder. Yeah, exactly.
I'm just guessing. I don't know.
Yep.
For so many, the Fresno Nightcrawlers and their uncanny counterparts are little more than a joke, a mobile meme, a plushy paranormal equivalent to Hello Kitty. Just as the coelacanth and the thylacine became the symbols of early cryptozoological endeavors, it seems as if the Nightcrawlers are a fresh, whimsical, and much more irreverent symbol of the same pursuit for a new generation of crypto aficionados, whose concern lies less with making their mark in the academic establishment through the discovery of heretofore unknown fauna, and more with a simple celebration of the bizarre. And what's wrong with that? There's room for both the serious and the silly, and by and large, it will be the kids fascinated by the wonderful weirdness of it all who are more likely to be bitten by the crypto bug and become the serious Fortean scholars of tomorrow. And I get it, because there's a lot of people that are just like, this is just some fly-by-night bullshit,
Yeah, for
probably
sure.
a hoax. Fuck it. But I mean, it's on patches, it's on stickers, it's on candles.
Yeah.
It is like a pop culture
It makes
bonanza.
it honestly makes it even cooler. I know when I see like things on Instagram with like Etsy shops that have their cool little like Fresno Nightcrawler plushies, I'm like, that's fucking dope.
I think they're
Yeah,
adorable.
It's
of
super
course,
cool.
yeah.
And I agree with that.
I like it.
As much as we take this shit seriously, eliminating the fun is
Yeah,
it helps
no.
no one, and no everyone that is enthralled when they're young with or even when they're old with fucking Nightcrawlers is not necessarily going to dedicate serious time to it. But for a few,
It's cool.
It's going to be the gateway
Yeah,
drug
which is
for sure.
dope. Yeah.
into the weird.
Totally.
As for what these Nightcrawlers actually are, the list of possible suspects is virtually endless. Michael Banty, the founder of Weird Fresno, claimed that the critters reminded him of, quote, fairy people, end quote, while Victor entertained the notion that these things might be extraterrestrial insectoids due to what he perceived to be a resemblance to praying mantises. I don't see it.
I don't see it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see
no.
praying mantis at all. I barely see bug, but if there's going to be one land-based creature that
Right.
these things resemble more than anything else, they're not fucking mammals. They're not,
No.
bird. Well, maybe. I don't know. I don't think so.
It's a
Bugs. I guess a
weird-
bug. But they
Yeah.
don't really look like fucking bugs.
Like a weird
Yeah,
bird
I
walking on
wouldn't
its
have thought
wings or
that,
something.
but-
That's strange.
Yeah.
Could be though.
Could.
Some-
Yeah, it's
some-
not, but it
some
could be.
exotic seagull.
It's an exotic seagull.
There it
I don't
is.
know. There it
we
is.
never need to pot again.
No, if anything, it's an exotic heron. Because the legs,
exotic
it's got longer
heron.
legs.
You just said it
Yeah,
because you wanted me to try to say it and
Yeah,
fail.
Huron.
Shut up.
Heron.
Heroin.
Heron. You can't say heron, can you?
Heron. Did I say it?
Yeah.
God damn it.
Heron. Yeah,
Is
you
it
said
a-
it.
All right.
Is it a vague heron?
It's a vague heron. I was just going to go
Is
there.
it a vague heron?
It's a vog
It's a
heron.
vog heron. Imitating a blimp.
It
There.
sounds like a
full circle.
It sounds like a black metal band, Vog Heron.
Oh my
dude, the new Vog
guys get
Heron.
it right.
Did you hear it? Oh, it
Dude,
slaps.
that new fucking that new Vog Heron slaps, bro. There it is.
There it is.
Continue, Robert.
Jesus Christ.
Victor also hedged his bets, declaring at the end of one of his convention appearances that the amazing entities could be, quote, extraterrestrial, could be elves. I don't know. Whatever you want to think.
You know, I like where Mr. Camacho's coming from, man. He's like, look, dog, ETs, fucking sweet black metal band, elves, cryptids, and whatever
Yeah,
you
he's
want,
playing
man.
the part of you.
He is, yeah. Umbrella. Could be ghosts of aliens.
Yeah.
There you
Ghosts of
go.
Yeah,
aliens.
it could be a wear cup. As we talked a couple pods ago.
Betty Fallon, what up? Could be a wear cup.
Could be a wear cup.
It could be. It could be. Here's the thing. I'm talking shit, but I want it to be true. You know how like symbiotic creatures live together? Like, I don't know, those like fucking fish that float in sea anemones or whatever to protect
Yeah,
them.
they hang on to like fucking sharks and whales and shit.
What if fucking the Loveland frogmen weren't wearing pants, but they were in a symbiotic relationship
With the pants?
The pants. And the Fresno Nightcrawlers and the upper, Roman candle wielding lopsided frog fucks were working together as a team through Ohio.
Right. So they
go their separate ways, but every now and again they come together, and maybe that's how they breed. Maybe they're necessary for each other's
So
survival.
you got like a pantsless frog with his dinky balls.
I mean,
hanging out and
generally
then a pair
they
of pants walking
constantly
away?
need each other in that relationship.
So
Not
the
like
pants just left.
Well, no,
not,
I think
not like once a year they
maybe the
go their separate
frogs-
ways and come together and the frogs wear
Maybe
the pants.
they just need them up for land shit. Like maybe the frogs are in the water. They just have these little tiny frog legs with big flippers, and they're fine. They're doing their things. But when they're on land, that's when the symbiosis with the pants is necessary. They climb into the pants. The pants wear the frog wear the pants. They bond. They blend.
So these
They
pants
exchange
have to
genetic
walk all
material.
the way from California to fucking Ohio.
Is
It's
it how-
called migration.
but look, I'm like, but only this guy caught it.
But
They
only
walked
this
across
guy-
the fucking country and nobody saw him.
Just fucking Jose was like, oh fuck, I found it.
Dude, they're clearly equipped for walking through swamps. They don't walk on highways.
Super secret path.
They go
So,
through the bogs
do they
of
mate-
America.
Are they?
And they
Are
make
you-
their
the
way to
bog-
Ohio.
The underground bogs of America. I mean, you have to go through bogs.
right.
No one's usually like bog.
Yeah, no one's fucking
Yeah.
around in bogs. No one
Bog
wants
party.
to be in a bog.
party tonight.
Dude, a bog party sounds
No
dope.
teenage. No, it's
No.
it's mosquito.
They
ridden, it's
smell and you
muddy.
die.
We've hung out in
What do you
bogs
mean?
Not
before.
because
We
we
had
wanted
fun.
to, because we had to.
No, we
And
weren't
it
like
was
in the
fun.
bog legit.
We were near bogs.
We were
Dude,
near
I
bogs.
smoked so many cigarettes in those bogs, dude.
Oh,
I just
goddamn.
kept taking the suit off, ripping missiles in my underwear. I'm like, I need a cigarette.
It was horrible.
It was awesome.
It was
we never
bugs
bog
and
partied
heat.
again.
Just sweat and bugs, and you're bundled up because you didn't want to get bit.
That's a
No,
horror
I
show.
was
a fucking
legit in my
nightmare.
underwear, and I had to keep taking the suit off because it didn't fit. And I was anyway. I will.
There literally could be hundreds of thousands of them in every bog, and we'd never know because
true.
nobody wants to go into the fucking bogs.
Well, people
know,
with
man.
with jeeps, they do things with jeeps and bogs. Right?
Yeah,
They
but
go
then all
bogging.
they got to do is freeze or dip into
They
the
go
water or do whatever.
Bogging's a thing, right?
I don't know.
right, I don't know what I'm
I
talking
mean,
about.
bogging could be a verb. I'm not here to
I'm
fight
pretty
you
Dude,
sure
about
it
this.
let's go bogging.
All right. Well, Robert, bring us out here. What do we
All
got,
right.
brother?
Okie dokie. That seems about right in reference to Mr. Camacho's reference.
Yeah.
But one could argue that the entire zeitgeist of the nebulous Nightcrawlers was best summed up by the aforementioned Michael Banty, who stated, and I quote, there's like a dictionary of different cryptids or strange creatures. Like there's Bigfoot and the Chupacabra. There's never been this before, and no one has really been able to determine what it is, end quote. Truer words have rarely been spoken, and maybe that is why, despite the unbearable quality of most videos and the preponderance of evidence indicating that the clips could easily be hoaxed, we're still fascinated by this footage. Because when you're already enamored by high strangeness that most people couldn't care less about, there is nothing better than when something that's totally batshit bonkers unexpectedly pops out of the woodwork to blow our collectively jaded minds. And for that alone, I say, kudos, Nightcrawlers. Kudos.
Oh, there it is. The Fresno
Yeah.
Nightcrawlers and their friends. So we have a lot of options here.
Oh, God.
We've
Well,
I mean,
do
well,
I mean, we figured it out.
I think we kind
Bogs.
of, yeah. I mean, honestly, I was gonna say Swamp World. Sorry, guys, I'm there. Like,
Yeah.
you lost me. You said Swamp World, and now my heart will go on to Swamp World.
Oh, my
Listen,
God.
if that's
Much
an
like Celine
attraction
Dion.
at Disney, I'm in for Swamp World.
You know,
That's about it. As far as
I
I'm going with
apologize in
fucking-
advance for the sound of my box wine pouring.
the
trying to get
your
fancy this
box
pod.
wine is
Dude,
is
I
I
know
know
pretty
box
it's gonna
wine,
sound,
man.
someone's going to say,
pretty
"Oh, who was
interesting.
pissing at so and so time?" And it was me.
Okay, it was your box wine.
Box
That's
wine,
fine.
living in a movie.
It was my Moscato Sangria. Thank you.
But no, so
Nice.
like the thing about the videos is the thing we like a couple times a year we bring it up. Like something comes along like this and you're like, oh, the video sucks. What the fuck? Why don't I get good video? But like as soon as you see something that's really good video, your mind goes, wait a minute. this looks too good.
Yeah, it's true.
Exactly.
So it's like, how do you ever trust fucking video?
I don't know if we ever can again. That's
can't.
it's Chris deals or it brings up, I should say, a fundamental fucking fact when it comes to paranormal. We are now living in a world where fucking half the people have got an 8K camera. Like they are shooting movies from their fucking phones that are superior to what Peter Jackson was shooting the original fucking Lord of the Rings movies on. And
for sure.
And you think about it, like you could get like the best UFO footage. If the Michigan UFO sightings or if the Momo Monster series of events or the Murfreesboro Mud Monster, any number of those great cryptozoological events that no one happened to have a Super 8 camera at the time, and even if they did, it would look shitty, though kind of wonderful as fuck. You'd be like, God damn it, we could get it and it would look phenomenal.
Right.
But here's the problem. Even if that did happen, would you fucking believe it? Now, 76 people had it from different angles. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
And I even still added maybe, but yeah. But if it's like one person and you're like, and if it looks too good, it's whatever.
No, I know. Because honestly, thinking about this, like I think the original footage, yes, was definitely something that was there. It was real. It was happening. The other footage, though, it's too good.
See, but it might just be a better camera.
I don't know, man.
I mean, we really discussed at length the inferior techniques used to bring that footage
for sure.
to America.
I think the original footage, personally, I'm going to say that the original footage is the real shit.
It's the most intriguing.
And the rest of this shit, I think, is just hoaxed. I think it's just trying to jump on the bandwagon.
I throw Poland out with the baby with the bathwater.
That was one of my favorite ones, though. It's so quick and it's so short, and you're like, oh no.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh no,
it's fucking awful.
It's Nightcrawler.
You don't even say no. You go, oh no, and then that's it.
Yeah, it's over.
Oh no. I mean, obviously the Yosemite one. I could see there be a reason for people to jump on and try to hoax it or whatever. Not saying that they did, but
yet once it's out there,
yeah.
So. All right, let's just talk about Jose's footage for a second. There's some people that say he was a publicity hound. Really, his actions
doesn't seem like he was at all.
Yeah, it doesn't.
No,
the facts don't bear that.
Exactly.
No, he was pretty shut down after it.
It was not incredible footage, but you wouldn't want it to be, I suppose, if you're faking it. If he's doing this just for attention, and again, dubious. He created, like, why not do a Bigfoot or a Chupacabra or something? Like, to do this.
Yeah, is weird.
The thing that makes it so incredible and so famous is its utter uniqueness.
Yeah.
And so just to bust this out, and it's like, and you try one, and again, it's the mobile Q-tip. It's got little tiny feet, and it's got a big head. And then, let's try it again, but let's move the legs big this time. And let's pretend it's on the same piece of footage, and let's call the cops, and let's call Univision, and let's be nervous about being on TV, even though that's what they say you wanted. And let's never really give a real interview. Let's talk to Victor Camacho once 3 months fucking later.
Yeah.
And reveal no new information, or at least,
he's making zero money off of this.
Yeah.
He's getting no notoriety. He's not,
the original tape is fucking erased over it.
Exactly. So,
I mean, there's also the chance that whoever, I don't know who the fuck's in this neighborhood. If there's people around or kids or somebody that know he's got a camera and he's kind of a
nervous dude,
if he's kind of stressed out, maybe they're just like, hey, we're gonna prank this fucking guy. We know he records every fucking night.
Yeah, that's
and they do, and they fucking do this.
That's fair
because it makes more sense the way he acted towards it, where he wasn't involved, but it was something played upon him. If it was a prank, I guess, so to speak.
The possibility of a hoax, but not perpetrated by Jose.
Right.
But the problem I have with that is, like, how? Like, I mean, that's like some sophisticated fucking puppetry.
Because
either that is CGI, and that the original tape conveniently disappeared because there was no original tape because it was fucking CGI or whatever.
Yeah.
Even though I know you get your CGI and you put it to your fucking VCR and you figure out a way to make it look shitty, but then you don't find a way to transfer it to fucking whatever. If it's perpetrated on them, I don't know how they fucking pulled that off. Because that's wires and ropes and sophisticated shit.
Herbie Hancock had the tech in the 80s.
I mean, really,
for
Herbie
rocket,
Hancock pulled it off.
I guess not possible.
But we saw the rod that the fucking horrible legs were attached to.
Oh, we did.
We saw the rod.
Oh, it's so gross.
If you see the rod.
No, you see the rod.
You can't the rod.
Well, people learn. They're like, they can't see the rod.
Can't see the rod. How do you hide the rod, though?
If we
Sheets.
learned nothing from Herbie Hancock. Yeah,
I mean, motors don't have. I mean, I'm just saying it's possible.
It's all right. I'll give
that. That's what I'm
Chris
saying.
That. It is possible, but I lean toward it being something anomalous.
No, as do I.
Who the fuck knows?
That's what I mean. There's not really evidence either way. It's just what you think is more plausible at this point.
That's where it gets me. That's where it gets me.
And it's a residential neighborhood. So if some people are playing a hoax, by the time this is going on TV, do you think Terry across the street doesn't want to be like, it was me. It was the fucking kids. Yeah. It was the Jenkins kids across the way. They're just fucking with you, Jose.
Right. Maybe Terry don't know.
But no neighbor saw it.
It was the fucking Millers, dude.
No,
the dogs are all barking. No one comes out to look.
Sure.
Well, yeah, but it's not like a opaque fence. It's like one of those spiked finial spaced fences.
Yeah.
There's always that one family in the neighborhood that's got fuck with everybody. I was one family. My family is that family in my neighborhood right now. I am that family.
So we can agree to this.
Yeah.
Mark is on the fence. Chris is going to be skeptic.
No, I'm just saying it's a possibility.
It is.
And I agree it is a possibility it was hoaxed. It's also a possibility it wasn't hoaxed. Now, it doesn't make it cryptids. It doesn't make it aliens. It doesn't make it etheric entities from fucking the great beyond. It just means that maybe there was something there.
I mean, we do have some like local legends here, some of which are, I guess, just copy paste internet stuff, and then some of which actually are from like tribal elders and whatnot. So maybe this is some weird fucking forest spirit thing, some swamp world walking around trying to make everybody better and save the trees and
world.
Like the what's the movie where they cut down the trees and the Danny DeVito shows up as the character?
The Lorax?
The Lorax, yeah. Oh. He's here for the trees, right?
Yeah, no, he speaks for the trees.
This is a weird Lorax. Could be.
All right, could be.
Could be.
No doubt.
Evidence.
I mean,
not a lot.
If the legends
not
are
a lot
true,
of evidence,
it is a
Lorax.
Loraxian paradigm.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
But I would say this that I was really, as I was writing this shit, I was dead up against it because every time I tried to look up Native American lore, it was like just no backup, no references, no notes, nothing. Until Chris. And he asked, and he went down a very specific paranormal path with the Sisutil, or I don't know if I'm saying it right, but you guys know what I mean.
The Susudio.
Yep, the Susudio. And so, all right, that's interesting. But the rest of it, the whole Venusian bog lords and the way they fucking run the show.
And they're right, though.
Curtain-wielding bog lords. Venusian bog lords.
Bell bottom wearing.
It's a fucking sweet
high
idea.
fashion.
Dude, as soon as you bring me to space, there's a bog, I'm there. Mm-hmm. It doesn't take much to capture my imagination.
But did anyone even look for any footprints? Did anyone look for anything on the fences? Right. Did anyone look for anything?
That is the problem.
Yeah, no one.
Camacho didn't get there for 3 fucking months. Factor Faked didn't get there for 3 years.
Yeah, and then even the other Fresno clip there from the retired couple, they didn't have any.
Like even if that footage freaked you out, like if I saw the footage, I would still be like, did this happen?
Right.
Right. Just go to your fucking backyard in the bright day
and look.
And fucking look. Look at the fence. Look where you thought they came from. Look where it looked like they went.
Yeah, I said grass trumpled.
Yeah, grass trumpled.
Jesus Christ.
Trumpleton Falls.
Illinois.
So Chris is absolutely right.
No, 100%.
And here's the thing: Sierra Parahunter, great name.
Yeah,
where's your if you like the internet or like the internet, you like the fucking paranormal. I'm not asking you to be an expert fucking investigator. But where's even the tiniest bit of work? Give us a general region of Yosemite. Yeah. Don't out your friends.
No, keep their anonymity.
Talk about like how far away these things were. Like I measured from where the camera is to this tree that was behind the second entity. It's this far away, thus making this thing 3.5 feet tall.
Yeah, you can figure that shit out.
This is just simple shit. And I mean, I'm not trying to shame dude for not doing any work, but all you did was post something and didn't do any work. And that probably goes a long way towards why Mark and Susan Slaughter and so many people are really dubious on the Yosemite footage.
Yeah.
Even though I find that the way they move and the clarity of it all the more fascinating, and I want to be objective about it, there's no work.
Like you said, though, this could be the best footage of these things, but because it does look so good, I'm like, nah.
Exactly.
But I am a little dubious of it, but I do like to stay open about it because I don't want to outright just say it's a hoax because I don't really know.
No, but
And
I want the information.
No, same here.
Like immediately when you're doing this, you're like, well, did they look for anything afterwards?
Right.
Like,
no,
that's
totally.
that's where my mind goes.
Yeah,
I want to
simple
know
follow-ups.
Like
exactly.
Wherever the evidence leads, that's where it leads. But you got to find it.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I guess does lend a sense of corroboration, but we only have two sources. Again, the aforementioned Susan Slaughter and Chris Axe.
Yeah.
These are the only two, and his anonymous buddy and the anonymous dog are the only entities that have seen these things with their eyes and A, didn't get turned to fucking salt and lived to tell about it.
Jesus.
Or B, bothered to report it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get too, if you saw something like that, like any number of, like if we were fucking around in the woods, especially when we were younger, just doing some shit at night, or finding a place to party, and we saw something like that, that might be something we would talk about amongst ourselves, but not until, a decade or so later when we saw Jose's footage, would we be like, oh, that's
remember something
like that thing. Like I thought it was probably a sheet stuck on a branch or some weird shit, but maybe. And so I get that. But still, what we are basically dealing with is 5 cases. You throw the Polish case right out.
You have to, unfortunately. It's my favorite, but
and you've got 2 uncorroborated eyewitness accounts.
Yeah.
Interesting, and it at least implies that it's being seen with the naked eye, and especially in Chris's case, I found it particularly intriguing. Like this dude is either really committed to a hoax or was seriously affected by this and wrote a fucking novel about it. And kudos to him.
He's doing the work. He's putting it in there. He's making it happen.
But the terror that he felt,
right?
And that's another thing too. Like so. All right, take it all at face value, and what these Native Americans, again, we don't know who they are. It's not cited, but whatever. Who told him that these are the specific breed of paranormal creature that maybe came from off world and is here to help us commune with fucking nature. Are assuming all that's fucking true, then where's the work? What are you fucking doing? Like, I'm not saying, you just come out en masse because people would lose their fucking minds.
Yeah, but you can't just make those claims without nothing.
With nothing, exactly. Right. And who are they talking to? Are they only talking to shamans?
It's a long game, man.
And if they are, okay, I get it, because they're the ones most in tune with this shit. But we're, if you're really here to save the environment from us fuck stains, you're going to have to fucking speed up your long
There's
game
not
a
even
little.
one other example. There's these things that look like pants walking.
Right.
That is literally all the evidence there ever fucking is. All of a sudden, they're Venusian swamp kings. Like, what are you talking about? What are you even talking about?
Dude, it's the EU, man. You got to build the lore. You got to do the research, put it in, expand it a little bit because it's going to sound good.
Okay, well, none of that happened, what you just said.
You got to bring the Venusians in. You got to get the swamp bog lords, the curtains.
You got to go to the DMV. You got to look at the stumps. You got to say ancient relics.
All right.
Kelly and the fucking the tiny gymnasts and Brenda
and Kelly,
and then the strong-legged jockeys and their horses and then
Dude,
the
I
mating.
wish that was the story. I wish all of that was true.
I do too.
I wish the original one really was Venusian swamp kings and their tailors making curtains, and the second one is a hoax using jockeys and fucking tiny gymnasts.
Oh my god, that would be great.
Hold me closer,
so
tiny gymnasts.
Like the secret government trying to debunk the whole thing with baby gymnasts. Oh, I love it.
Hold me closer, tiny gymnasts. Oh, shit. All right, well, there you have it. Thank you so very much. Fresno Nightcrawlers.
El Zeta was fireworks gone awry, and we're dealing with tiny gymnasts
and little jockeys. There it is.
And the tailors from outer space. And I like to think a co-symbiotic frog pant relationship.
Yes.
That's just me.
This is possible.
Frogs fucking a pair of pants.
It's
there you go.
literally as possible as everything else
we've
discussed.
Totally.
Things migrate, so at least lends a little credibility to.
I mean, but I'm still a big fan of the migrating hordes of bog lords.
It does sound good. I
Rhymes.
do enjoy it.
It even rhymes.
It does, yeah. There you go. The migrating hordes of bog lords. Fuck, that is pretty dope.
There it is.
I might have to make a Twitter handle of that. That's pretty fucking cool. I love it. Thank you all so very much. The socials, the Instas, and the Twitters, and the Facebooks. Check us out all there. The Patreon, the $1 with the bonus episode, the $5 with the no more than 4 episodes.
Never.
Thank you all for your continued support. Also to the movie nights, we are going to be discussing soon our second movie night if we successfully do the first movie night, if we don't fuck it up. So we'll see what happens.
It's beta. We're going to not be great.
Well, we'll see. You know what? Who knows? Maybe this is going to be our new calling as movie nights. Who knows? Anything's possible.
Love movies.
And we've made it. We've made it this far. Let's just
right up there with our love of monsters.
Let's do it. Let's just keep doing it. So be sure to check all that out. HeatherSpace.com. Get yourself some merch. That's it. You know what though? As we mentioned in the beginning of this episode, this is going out to the memory of Michael Carroll, who was one of our Facebook guys, one of our dudes in there, and he unfortunately passed away. But yeah, I think this is a fitting episode for Michael. I think this is good. I think he would dig it. I think
hope wherever
dope.
he is, he gets a chance to listen while he's slaying dragons and flying
and
on
doing dope
mighty
shit.
If you're on Venus
and doing while you're hanging with the bog lords of Venus, just fucking owning the scene.
If you can, let us know, dude. Fucking there you go. We're here. We're the fucking we're your dudes. Check it out.
Heart goes out to all your loved ones.
Yeah, it's a bummer, man.
And you know what? Wish we could have known you better, but good luck on the next leg of the journey, buddy.
Yeah, definitely. There you have it. Thank you all so very much, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Maybe it's just a broken kite blown in the wind.
Two broken kites?
Two broken kites.
No, that's absurd.
Yeah.
One I could have accepted.
Yeah, 2 broken kites.
You know what I say? Poppycock.
Poppycock,
it's
sir.
Pure poppycock.
All right. I like the idea of the pants and the frogs fucking, but that's just me.
That's where the tadpoles go.
Know?
Like the pants actually form like a little bowl.
And then they fuck.
And there's some residual liquid that's like amniotic fluid, and then the fucking frogs drop the tadpoles. And they don't fuck. They exchange genetic material. Come on, let's not make this dirty. It's not like porn.
Why not enjoy it?
All right, they fuck, and then they drop the tadpoles, and then
I'm not even going to say anything about this.
The pants walk through the bogs back to the west coast where they have the baby froglings.
Okay, all right,
and then the
there
froglings must make the journey next. It's the cycle of life.
Well, do you know what direction they were walking in the video?
Left.
No.
No, it's not. It's actually to the right.
They were actually south east.
Oh, shit. Fuck. There it goes.
We'll be talking to you.
Pew.